Hello and welcome to episode 41 of series 1 of Become a Legend story mode, or as we could call it, the penultimate episode. Yes, we are only 2 episodes away now from that being it for Jack. That's it. It's sad really, isn't it? We've come so far, we've been through so much with him. We've seen Jack flourish from a boy into a man, multiple clubs, multiple big trophies, a World Cup win, a Champions League win, as we saw in the last episode. So what we're going to be doing today is, well, we've got a few things that we can do. We're going to have a look at the stats from this season, see how he did. And then we're going to skip through a few games and we're going to see how far we can get in this episode, see how he does via simulation. And that's going to be interesting. It could literally go in any direction. Simulation can be so random. Whether we're going to be challenging for the league after a fully simulated season it's a roll of the dice really, who knows. But it'll be interesting anyway. We'll see how we go. Now, although at time of recording I haven't released the video, you will have seen by now, hopefully, the announcement video that came out this week about the Patreon channel and about becoming a PES Story Mode co-author. Now, hopefully, some of you have thought, yeah, that sounds like a good laugh. And you've done that. And now you're in a position to vote on the polls and you're a member of the Discord channel. We might even be chatting now. If not, then fine. You just continue to watch and interact with me as we have done for the last year and a half. But what I am very pleased to announce at the very beginning of this episode is we do have the shortlist for PES 18 Become a Legend story mode. We know the 3 players that it could be. So if you have signed up to become a co-author, if you are now a patron of the PES Story Mode Patreon channel, then you have up until the 10th of September to vote on this decision. So let me announce the nominees. How exciting is that? I feel like I should have an envelope. In fact, hey, I have got an envelope. Let's pretend I do. So the theme for these 3 is, again, I mean, it's hard to go. I did consider going with older players in the final year of their career and having one big season to try and cement their legacy. Maybe we can do that another time. One season wonders. But it's really hard to look away from starting with an exciting young player and building their career. So that is the theme for these 3 players. And we are going to be looking further afield than Jack Harris. I suppose, actually, Jack was really far afield. He was in America, but he was English. There's no Englishman in this 3. So we'll start off with the first one. It is Gabriel Barbosa. Yes, Gabby Gol. The 21-year-old Brazilian who signed for Inter in 2016 after, being touted as the next big Brazilian thing. He was at Santos. He was incredible. Scored 24 goals in 83 appearances in 3 years there. He's an out-and-out striker. He's a player I'd really be interested in playing with. Not had the best time at Inter. Barely started any games for Inter Milan, and there's talk of him going out on loan. So this could well be Gabby Gol at Benfica. That's been talked about, or it could be anywhere. Or he could be still at Inter, and we'll have to battle for a place. So, I think he would be great. So if you choose to vote for him, I'll be very pleased. But I'll be very pleased for the other 2 as well. So staying in South America, we've got a slightly less well-known one. He plays for Vélez Sarsfield, or Club Atlético Vélez Sarsfield. I'm sorry, Argentinians amongst you. Yep, that's an Argentinian team playing in the Primera Division. The great thing about this is that the Argentinian league is fully licensed, so the teams and everything in there will be perfect. How great will that be? So playing at Vélez Sarsfield is Maximiliano Romero. Yeah, or Maxi Romero, as he's probably more commonly known. Now this guy, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it tends to be a bad thing, was labelled as the next Lionel Messi a few years ago. And around that sort of time, he was very close to getting a move to Arsenal. It didn't happen in the end. He had a massive knee cruciate ligament injury in 2015 that prevented that transfer. And this year, he has had a bit of attention, I believe, from Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool. But we'd be starting with him at Vélez Sarsfield in the Argentinian league, and then we can see where we go with him. He's he's a centre forward as well. But he's definitely one of those players that we were talking about being interested in. Is sort of a child star that hasn't quite made it. So thirdly is a player that we know well. The Dane, Kasper Dahlberg. Yep. Any of you watching the Master League Story Mode series will know that we signed him. And I felt a bit bad this season. We've barely played him. I think he's played 20, maybe 30 minutes. So I thought, hey, let's give him the chance to be the star of Become a Legend Story Mode Series 2. So, a lot of you will probably know all about him. He's like one of the most exciting young striking talents. You can see a theme here. We've gone for strikers. I did consider central midfielders, but I think we'll go strikers next. And then maybe central midfielders as a challenge in the next one. But really exciting. He's already, subject of a lot of transfer rumours in this window. There's talk of him going to Dortmund. There's talk of Monaco coming in for him. So he may even move. And then that would make things interesting. Do we go with him then? But we can cross that bridge when we get to it. So there we are. You know, if you want to do a bit more research yourself, then please do. But it's Gabigol, it's Maxi Romero, or Kasper Dahlberg who are going to be our Become a Legend story mode star for PES 18, for the first series in PES 18. So, yeah, if you are a co-author, if you're already a part of that illustrious bunch, then hop on over to Patreon and the vote will be ready to go. Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting. But don't worry if you're not a Patreon and you're not into that, you're not bothered about that, you don't have the money, you don't want to get involved, that's fine. Let me know in the comments what you think, and what I will do is I will collate all the responses in the comments, and that will count for one vote towards it. So you can still have your say, and I'm assuming that there won't be many co-authors yet, or ever. So that could be a fairly significant vote. So let me know your opinions. Right, so with that out of the way, let's go and have a look at Jax Career Records, see how he's got on. So obviously we started at NYSCFC. There were some dark days there, weren't there? 40 appearances is all we made in the space of a year. 10 goals, 1 in 4. It's not bad. Actually, we got a decent amount of assists as well. FC20, well, actually, we doubled our goal tally. 10 goals and 20 appearances. 1 in 2 for FC20. We were only there for half a season. We made the move almost straight away to Aston Villa. But we did all right there, didn't we? And then Villa, although his goal return wasn't that great, I think those will be the glory years for Jack. He really flourished in that J-cubed lineup of Jordan Ayew, Jack Grealish and Jack Harrison as a winger. And yeah, we were flourishing there. Aston Villa dropped off in the race, and then we had the chance to go to United. Will that be looked back upon as a mistake? Well, I don't know. And we've still got time, and we're still going to see in this episode how he gets on. We're not going to get to play, but it's been disappointing so far. So the only way is up for Jack at United, and hopefully we can do a bit better. For England, we performed very well. Obviously, we won the World Cup. 27 appearances, 11 goals, 4 assists. It's not incredible, but I think his contributions alone will mark him out as a real star of this England side. He's been incredible, and you know, he was an integral part of us winning the World Cup. So let's take a look at the league. Obviously, we finished 7 points adrift. It was a disappointing run of draws towards the end of the season that ruined it. Many have blamed Jack in the press. I think that's a little harsh, but it did seem to correlate, didn't it? Let's see who finished in the goal rankings. Well, Juan Mata was the highest scorer for United. I mean, there's your problem there. There's the big problem. You can blame Jack all you want, but actually he grabbed 10 goals. Oh no, that was 10 goals combined, Villa and United. But no United strikers even close to the top 10 goals. Juan Mata, I mean, if he's scoring all your goals, you know you've got a problem. And it was Leroy Sané who ended up player of the season. That's interesting. Harry Kane grabbed top scorer, the golden boot for him as usual, and Fabregas with the assist as you'd expect. And it's Pep Guardiola who won the manager. Well, you'd expect that. Okay, so we're into the first day of the new season. Just before we get in, Ibrahimovic, Carrick and Young have all left the club. I think we can safely say that Ibrahimovic was well past his best in that season, which was very obvious when you look at the goal rankings. Now, I'm going to leave you now, and we're going to pop back in, maybe in January, maybe at the end of the season, and we'll see how we're getting on. So, welcome back, and what a few months it has been. We're into February now, we're at 87% manager trust level. Things didn't start so well, but they've started to slightly get into gear in the last couple of months. Let's go all the way back to the beginning of the season. I'll just quickly take you through it. So we started off well, we won the UEFA Super Cup, not a bad way to start the season, and then the first Premier League game, well, Jack did score. First game of the season, but we lost 4-1 to Newcastle. Also around that time, we tried and failed to take away Anthony Martial's number 11 shirt. That's the one we wanted. We didn't get it, so we got pied off there. We had a pretty decent start to the season. We had quite a few wins, and then we got absolutely battered by Chelsea 4-0. But around that time, Jack also started his second dramatic improvement, which was exciting. But then after the Chelsea loss, we also lost 3-0 to Stoke. So, but at this point, we weren't doing very well. I think we were sort of mid-table, mid to bottom. Then we drew against Watford. Things weren't looking that great. Then we started to pick up a little bit. We beat Real Madrid. We had a few tricky games, but generally we just started winning and winning and winning. And by this sort of time, end of December, Jack was becoming a regular starter, which was really great. We qualified top of the Champions League group. And we were just about 6 points off Chelsea in third place about this sort of time of the season. We also, we went past that, we also won the Club International Cup. Excellent. And Jack scored in the final. Quite sure what that tournament is, but I'm pretty happy to do so. And then things started going very well. We just started winning and winning and winning. We beat Tottenham, we beat Everton. And now we join us for the first game that I'm going to play of this episode, which is against Chelsea. And we've pulled away from the league, thankfully, so this isn't quite as important as it was. But at one point, you know, we were a fair way behind them, but we'll take a look at the standings. Yeah, we're 7 points ahead of them now. We were 6 points behind until we went on that ridiculous run. I'd be interested to see what the goal ranks are looking like. Anthony Martial is having a much better season. I mean, that's huge. As we saw with Ibrahimovic still in the side, he was struggling to get the consistent minutes, but now he's in the side, scoring a lot of goals. Pogba's nabbed 11 as well. I think Jack might just have snuck into this. I think he's got 5. Jack's got 4 or 5. He's not doing great for goals, to be honest. It took us until January to really start scoring. But we can go and have a look at him now. He's looking like quite the player. Look at this. 87 overall rated right wing forward. Only 6 goals this season. No assists still. But look at this. I mean, 91 speed, 94 explosive power, the body control, 88, 80 finishing. The lofted passing could still do with improving, but his low passing is good. And I think we might be on the way to learning one-touch passing. But anyway, let's get into this game and see how we get on. It's been a while. Haven't played anything. Let's see where Jack's playing. He's playing out on the right. We're now an 85 overall rated right midfielder, which is pretty decent. Paul Pogba's turning into a really nice little player as well, as you'd expect. Right, well, we can cement the league, maybe win it today. So let's get this done. Let's get it finished. Let's get some goals for Jack. Oh, it's so nice to be a regular starter as well. I mean, although it's been simming, it's not as exciting. I've still been getting involved. Every press of the simulate game button or whatever it is and waiting for that score to come back. I have a little heart attack, but then it comes back with a win. Or more often than not at the moment, and we're on a great run. And hopefully now Jack can get some goals, and then maybe we'll play, hopefully, a FA Cup final and a Champions League final, and we will have won everything this season. So let's get into it and see if Jack can start using some of those improved stats that he's got, because we struggled at the end of last season, but we should get a good solid 90 here. Let's go. Come on. Pogba spreads it nicely out to Harrison. His first touch of the game. A significant one. He steps back inside. Finds Mkhitaryan. He tries to thread a ball through to the on-running Darmian, but Tevez now will bring it into Michy Batshuayi. He's got Willian making the run, but he goes wide to Carlos Tevez. The Argentinian back inside to Kante. Batshuayi, edge of the box, says Fabregas to Gea. Palms it over the bar. Danger from Chelsea here. They're looking to close the gap on United. A win today would be a significant one in this title race. Pogba over this one. Harrison making the late run. He jumped with Berardi. Header off the line from Kante. Whoa, Harrison got up for that well. Leaping like a Tim Cahill-shaped salmon. Oh my word, Cesc Fabregas out of nowhere. He's doing well in assists this season as always, but that is some goal for Chelsea to put them up here. Oh my word, what a finish that was. Batshuayi with a simple ball back to Fabregas. Under no pressure, hit it first time. Past the countryman to Gea, and oh dearie me, we're behind here at Stamford Bridge. Ball spread out to Harrison. It's been a frustrating half for him. Chelsea have looked to keep ball as much as possible. Harrison, ball inside to Mkhitaryan. Now Anthony Martial. Can he find the run of Harrison? Zuma with a good header. Didn't really want that ball there. But the pass came through anyway. Had to react. Lay off from to Harrison. Oh, he steps away. Can he find the ball into Martial? Kante's always everywhere. And that's half-time here at Stamford Bridge. And it's been a frustrating game. Chelsea got the early goal and they've kept possession well. Harrison's had his chances. He's looked lively. Hopefully we can do better in the second half. It's not been depressing, at least, like it was at the end of last season. Oh, Harrison wins it back off Hazard really nicely and then plays it into Mkhitaryan. He wants it again out on the right-hand side. Got Kante with him. Manages to get the ball out to Mkhitaryan. Back to Jack Harrison here. Under pressure. Watch that one. Looking for options. Edge of the box. Sees Schweinsteiger. He'll hit this one. Courtois with the save. Harrison needed to be a bit more incisive there, but he kept the ball well. Under pressure from N'Golo Kante. Had to go wide. Put it back inside. We have won a corner. Harrison will curl this one. Oh my word! There we go. That's more like it. That's the Jack Harrison we know and love. He made himself available after the short corner, shrugged off David Luiz, and he's curled that one masterfully into the top left-hand corner. See you later, David. I don't know what you're doing on the floor, mate. You needed to be standing up and trying to avoid that one going in. Oh, and it's a beautiful finish from Jack Harrison. That is what we want to see from the young man. Still a young man, obviously. Edge of the box. Wrapped his foot round it. Beat Courtois comfortably. And we're back in this one. Square ball to Harrison. And he... Oh! Could have won it there. Courtois with the incredible save. Harrison made a great run. It's a nice ball outside. Harrison made the run inside. He got a bit caught up there with Mkhitaryan. They're queuing up in the centre. Mkhitaryan gets the call. Could have finished that better on his right foot, but it's out for a corner here. And there we are, full time at Stamford Bridge. And it's Harrison's goal, and what an individual effort it was, that sees us get an important point here against our nearest rivals in the league. It wasn't a special game. Harrison had the chance, maybe at the end, to win it, or near the end anyway, with that square ball from Martial that he put straight into Courtois. But yeah, decent performance, and yeah, man of the match performance. Excellent stuff. Much, much better. So as I said, the point was important, and that sees us still a good solid 7 points ahead of Chelsea, and 8 points ahead of Liverpool, who are our second nearest rival. Looking pretty comfortable at the moment. If we can keep up the wins, then we're all good. It's 7 goals in 34 appearances. Not very good season goal-wise, but the average rating's sneaking up, and it's always going to be difficult with those simulated games. So quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Well, while we're here, we might as well see how this goes. This could really decide whether we get many more games in this episode. And it's going to be... Oh, we win it on pens against Leicester. Into the semi-final now against Tottenham in the semi-final, who we've overcome twice this season already. Okay, so with the possibly most important league game of the season out of the way and solidly at the top of the table, and we know we're through to the next round of the FA Cup, I think we're going to join the action again when something interesting happens. I think hopefully FA Cup final and Champions League final. Let's see how we get on. I will speak to you in a bit. Boom, team of the month in February. First one I think Jack has ever made it into, and as a striker as well, alongside Pogba and Mkhitaryan. We are wiping the floor with absolutely everyone. It's insane. Let's see how West Brom at home goes just while we're watching. Starting lineup as ever. Jack is now a consistent starter. There's no other way of putting it. And this game, I imagine, will be nothing more than, yep, 3-0. Just a formality. And look at that. Wow, 11 points clear. Only 4 losses this season. Perhaps the problem wasn't Jack, it was me. Yeah, I think it was probably me. Okay, bit of sad news as we roll into the end of March. We're out of the Champions League. As you can see there, De Gea being comforted by a Benfica play, went out on penalties. Really unlucky. Looks like we're still well in the title race though. We've got 8 points still ahead of Chelsea. We did lose to Middlesbrough 3-0, so having a little bit of a blip in March. But hopefully we can keep things going. Oh, dearie me. Knocked out of the semi-finals of the FA Cup by Tottenham as well. Oh, maybe I should have played that one. That's disappointing. So, no Champions League final, no FA Cup final. That's going to be it then, I guess. We just need to keep progressing till the end of the season. It'd be good if I could know exactly which game was going to be the one that we lifted the title. I don't think we've got any particularly interesting England internationals as well, so I think we might have to just say goodbye to this season. Well, seeing as we didn't get to play an FA Cup final or a Champions League final as we hoped we would this season, let's at least play the final Manchester derby of the season. It looks like we've got the league wrapped up. There's only 3 games left. Man City are one of our nearest rivals. Chelsea are the nearest. They're, I think, 8 points behind us or 10 points behind us. I think City are about 10 or 11 points, but it'd be nice to hand them a spanking to end this episode. So let's go and see how Jack does in this one. So Old Trafford for the Manchester City, Manchester United derby. What a perfect way this will be to see off the 2019-2020 season, hopefully, which we will end as champions. Unfortunately, we couldn't retain the Champions League. We were disappointingly knocked out of the FA Cup by Spurs. But yeah, Jack's had a decent season. He's not had a lot of goals. He's only scored 7 goals. One of them was when we were playing, so he's only scored 6 goals in the simulated games, which is disappointing. I think if we'd been playing, he would have scored a lot more. But what we can do now is really rub it in the face of our City rivals, and yeah, hopefully it'll be Jack who hands them a beating. Let's go. Harrison dropping deep. He's got Darmian in a more advanced role. Oh, David Silva with the foul. David Silva with hair. That's much nicer to see, isn't it? Harrison with the short one into Darmian, and then he releases Harrison at pace down this right-hand side. He'll look up, get the ball into Martial. Head past Joe Hart. And we're off the mark here early. It's not Joe Hart in goal. But anyway, what a start that is. Oh, Anthony Martial. He's been in the goals this season. It's one of the main reasons that United have really pushed away towards the end of the season. And they look to be in pole position to win the league. And Harrison gets a rare assist. He does not get many of them. Look at the bombing run there. David Silva couldn't get anywhere near him. And he's been practicing those right foot crosses. It's a bullet cross straight at the number 11. Finished well. Guerra now. Out to Artman. Oh, looks to put it inside. Fall to Harrison. Guerra chasing him down. He releases Darmian down the right hand side. And then Harrison making the run. Oh, the pace is electric. Oh, ball into the box. Doesn't find him, but it does come off Harrison. That could have gone straight in. Martial lays it off into Harrison, who's come out onto this left-hand side. He's got the overlapping run of Depay to look for. Now the ball comes in. It falls to Harrison on his right foot now. Hit this one. Oh, I didn't think that was going to fall to him. Really, I should have dummied that. Tried to work a better angle. Martial left it. It was a decent run from Harrison. It's a great ball to find him. Took it down well with the right foot. God, good. Oh, he wrapped his foot around it well. Couldn't beat the keeper from that tight angle, though. Harrison releases Darmian, and he wants it poked back into him in the box. Steps inside his man, a Darabia with the referee. That is a big, big foul there from the now Bristol City player. Oh, that's a lovely ball through to Depay. Harrison's peeled off to the far post. Ball into Harrison. It was a great run from Harrison. Darabia this time with a probably fair intervention, but oh, Harrison is pushing for that second. Let's ball out from Baye, but Artman's there. Harrison does just enough to win it back, and then he'll push it into his path there. To thread it round the corner into Anthony Martial. Will he finish here? Just about does. Under gun, and that was a beautiful ball through from Jack Harrison. He knew the pace that Martial has. He's such a better player to play with than Ibrahimovic. I think that was our big problem in the league last season. Just didn't gel very well. Harrison found himself in a bit of space here. He could see the ball around the back. He knew the pace of a Darabia would never match Martial. He almost messed that up. Just about squeezed it under the body of the oncoming gun. And yeah, it's 2 goals here for Anthony Martial. 2 assists for Jack Harrison. Just bumping up those totals for the season. Harrison takes it off Otamendi. Great play there from Harrison. Sees the on-running Darmian. Will he cut it back for Harrison? He does, but it doesn't fall to him. Probably didn't want it in the air there. Good play though in the build-up. Oh, Harrison intercepts. Can he put Martial now in for the hat-trick goal? Oh, gun this time saves. Mistake there. Harrison back inside. Oh, I could have let Martial get the hat-trick there, but I asked for the pass and he did return it. Probably should have been a little bit more selfish there. Oh, defender just snuck in. Oh my God. So close. Last chance of the half here as Artman takes it down the left-hand side. Gets ahead of Martial. This is better from Man City. Ball inside looking for Sane. Luke Shaw's there to head her away. And it'll be half-time here at Old Trafford. It's a comfortable 2-0 win on the cards for the league leaders, Manchester United, against their City rivals. And Harrison has been the creator-in-chief for both goals, finding Anthony Martial. Man City have been toothless. No wonder they're more than 10 points off us. No wonder they are disappointingly in third. Sane nearly loses out there. Under a lot of pressure. Manchester United playing a good high line, putting the pressure on whenever possible. Man City managed to work their way out though. Now David Silva will look to push it wide to Leroy Sane. Great ball there from the Spaniard. Oh, but Sane easily dispossessed by Memphis Depay. Oh, Pogba though runs into trouble. We win it back. That's a horror tackle there from Alex Garcia. And Harrison looks hurt. Unsurprisingly, a yellow card. Hopefully that's nothing serious. But this was disgraceful. Oh, dearie me. That's a career ender. Well, we've had an injury and we're off. Oh dear, we're actually off the pitch. That's no good. And Herrera scores. Well, that's fine. We'll see how we get on. But it looks like this game is done anyway. So hopefully it's not a long-term injury for Harrison. And there we have it. A massive 4-0 win for United. Martial did get his hat-trick goal in the end. Unfortunately, Harrison went off injured. But what a way to see us towards the end of this Champions season, or what will be the Champions season for Man United, and for Jose Mourinho, his first title as a Manchester United manager. Yeah, we dominated. It was brutal. It was unfair. Harrison grabs a 6.5, 2 assists. Pretty decent. Martial with the 8, as you'd expect. So surprisingly, that wasn't the game that finishes it. We mathematically would have thought we were mathematically done there, but clearly not. That's 2 assists for Harrison today. That's his first 2 assists of the season. Clearly, when simulated, I don't know, maybe the AI can't seem to get Harrison to pick a pass. So another team of the month for Harrison in April. Unfortunately, we're out till July now. Yep, it was a pretty bad injury. We've only got a few games left of the season, so it doesn't really matter. It's a shame that we're not going to be on the pitch when we win the league, but that can't be far off now as we are 9 points still ahead of Chelsea with, I think, only 2 games left. So this could be it. And it's a massive thumping of Arsenal as well. We're getting big wins, and that's 12 points. And we've won the championship. There we go. Jack Harrison, trophy earned. We've won the championship. So we've won the Premier League, the Champions League, and the World Cup. We've won them all. That's it. Perfect. Not much more to say, really. It's a 6-rated season. Not great. Average rating of 6.2 for his career. 45 goals and 164 appearances so far. I mean, it could be a lot better. We've had some pretty tough times, but now we're into the good times. Harrison is one of the best players in the world in terms of overall rating. And yeah, absolutely destroying everyone in their path now, Manchester United, with Jack Harrison as a consistent starter, which is all we wanted. That's all we wanted to see. And the league win is confirmed. How exciting is that? And we smashed Liverpool as well for 4. And it's a massive, massive win. 15 points. Only 6 losses, 72 goals scored. That's a massive haul. Absolutely huge haul. Not really much to do with Harrison, but obviously he played well because he's played in almost every single game. So final fixture at West Ham. What will that be? A cheeky 1-0 win. Lovely. Just to finish off the season on a positive note. Other than the fact that we're champions. Championes. And United back to where they belong. I guess they do belong. The Ferguson era is a long, long time ago, but the Mourinho era is well and truly here. A Champions League win. We know he can do that. And he wins the league quite a lot as well. So that's Mourinho doing what he does best. So there we have it. The 2019-2020 season has been completed, and we got through that pretty quickly, didn't we? It was an exciting one. Harrison is becoming an incredible player. So let's take a look at the results for players this season. Pogba was huge. 17 goals, 14 assists from midfield, 6.3 average rating. And Martial grabbed 30 in all competitions. That's a huge goal haul from our only real true striker this season. I think that obviously really helped. Harrison grabbed 7 with a 6 overall rated. That makes him the third or 4th highest rated player this season, playing 45 games, which is as much as most people have. So pretty decent. Not a single yellow or red card for any player all season. The Fair Play Award won very, very comfortably there for Manchester United. Let's take a look and see who got Golden Boot this season. Oh, Saido Berahino for West Brom. Netted 25. And there's a big gap before we see any of the familiar faces. Harry Kane only grabbed 14. A poor season for Sergio Aguero. Adama Traore at Middlesbrough. 3rd highest goals. 16 goals. That's unexpected from him. Pogba, though, the highest scoring midfielder. I mean, that says a lot about why we did so well this season. He's come into his own. And he wins Player of the Season, unsurprisingly, with Jose Mourinho as the best manager. And N'Golo Kante grabbing a few assists. He's added that to his game. That makes him probably one of the best players in the world. And Saido Berahino, as we saw, top scorer, an odd one, but a good one. Saido. So there we have it. I hope you enjoyed this Express episode. We're going to do one more. We've got time for one more Express episode. So we'll get to see how Jack does in 2020, 2021. That's a lot of 20s. But to finish this episode, there is going to be another co-author poll. Yes. Where do we want to see Jack go? What club would you like to see him go to? Do we want to stay at United? We've won everything, really. I mean, do we want to stick around to win the FA Cup? Probably not. So there's going to be 5 options. It's going to be the biggest clubs in the world. We want to see Jack finish at one of the big ones. So it's going to be Real and Barca, obviously. If you want them to be one of the teams that Jack spends his final season at, then, well, you know what to do. Pop over there, become a co-author, and you can vote on this. So it'll either be Real, Barca, Juventus, the old lady. I'd love to play that. That's my favourite Italian team, so that's the one we've got to choose there. PSG, and obviously Bayern Munich as well. Might pop Dortmund on there. Maybe don't want to put too many teams in. But yeah, it'll be your choice, your decision. Where will he spend his final season? That's how the co-author polls work. You get to actually have a say on what happens. As I mentioned at the beginning, alongside letting me know which player you would like to see as the next Become a Legend subject, let me know in the comments where you'd like him to go as well, what club you'd like him to go to for his final season. Let me know both of those things and I'll tally them up. And then the commenters on YouTube, their opinions, their votes basically then count for 1 vote in the co-author poll. So at the moment, I'm assuming there won't be many co-authors, if any at all, so that could have a big impact. So let me know both of your opinions on those 2 questions in the comments. Right, I'll see you in a bit.